over impeachment by Edo Assembly. So much happening in Edo State. You want to get a picture. Page 7 may guide you. Away from that, we have Okwama 17, DHQ extends search for killers to Rivers. And that's on page 6. Also on page 6, you can read up EFCC recovers 30 billion naira, probes 50 bank accounts. EFCC recovers 30 billion naira, probes 50 bank accounts. Of course, the better Edo story and all of that is wrapped around this. You want to see that. Away from that, NNPC owes $3 billion backlog on petrol payments. That's according to a report. And finally, from the leadership this morning, we have CBN crashes BDC's exchange rate to 1,101 naira to the dollar. Offers $15.88 million. All right, that's the much from the front page of the leadership this morning. Quickly turning our attention to the Vanguard. Now we have the lead story, which is on the strengthening of the naira. And it says, woes for forex dealers as CBN cuts BDC rate. This has a different exchange rate. The Vanguard has 1,117 naira 50 kobo to the dollar. The riders bans foreign-dominated collateral for naira loans. Analysts attribute naira appreciation to CBN policies. Incentive for forex malpractice eliminated. This according to APCON. Away from that story now, looking above the masthead. How Shaibu quest to stop impeachment led to his ouster. A mobile 38 sworn in as new deputy governor. Of course, the story on Ida Fitri happening tomorrow is also right here. And we have 3 killed as men in military uniform pick Jack Rich, a Berry Papa. He was arrested by other security agencies, and that's according to the police. That story is on page 6 on what is happening right there. And then, of course, Nigeria's inflation rates will remain high in 2024. That's according to the World Bank. Of course, Nigerians will say, God forbid to that. Looking away from that now, we have, beside the picture story, the Labour Party crisis stakeholders to name transition committee Thursday. Bandits kill 30 vigilantes in Niger as residents flee. And Eid al-Fitr, Akpabio, governors orders congratulate Muslims, preach peace and love. All right, that's it from the front page of the Vanguard.
Okay, and on to the Nigerian pilot, where the lead story says, Shaibu impeached. 4 riders, Edo political crisis deepens as State House of Assembly impeaches deputy governor. Impeachment follows adoption of recommendation of 7-man judicial panel. Deputy Governor Shaibu was found guilty of disclosure of government secrets. And I was impeached over trumped-up charges, Shaibu insists. That's the major story on the front page of the Nigerian pilot. And just above that story, you have 60 PDP rep members threatened to quit over doctored documents. More on that story, you find it on page 9. Gunmen kill 30 security volunteers in Niger State. That story is on page 9 also. And Lagos High Court remands Godwin Emefiele over alleged fraud. You find that story on page 5. 16 persons die of Lassa fever in Benue State, page 5. On page 7, media bodies, CSOs seek investigation into editor's detention. LP crisis, NLC demands committee to probe Abure's leadership. That story is on page 6. And again on page 7, UNDP offers 200 million naira support to Bayelsa MSMEs. That story is on page 7. CBN stops banks from using forex-denominated collateral for naira loans. You find that on page 5. And finally, FX fraud. Court remands Binance executive in prison custody. That story can be found on page 7. Chooks the boy.
Victor, it's a full day in terms of news. Now, naturally, the Shaibu impeachment, we would say, has not come as a surprise because the build-up suggested he was a goner. It was a matter of time. You know, in Africa, in Nigeria, when the deputy to an incumbent falls out with his master, It's usually a one-way traffic to an end game for that deputy, you know. It's only in a few circumstances. Because in the case of a governor in Nigeria, for instance, he's really lord of the manor. I keep on referring to our dear Kingsley Osadolo, who will tell you the emperors are the states. But let's not go talking as if we are condemning Obaseki. No, not at all. I'm just saying what the trend is on these in these parts. Yeah, one would have said, why not let him serve out his term so he will be entitled to his benefits and all that. But you see, sometimes politics could really show the full impact of what is called sudden death in football, where you receive maximum impact from, you know, the way the game goes, has chosen to go due to circumstances and all that. So it has happened. I don't think it would be politically reversible, maybe judicially, because he has given the impression that he's going to, you know, go to court over it. We can only wish him luck. Politicians have acted the way politics goes in our country sometimes. Like
they say in balance, leave politics for politicians.
Now you're siding in with me. I tell you, I hardly discuss politics here. I don't understand that plan. I'm not going to pretend about it. I don't understand them.
It's not a tough you playing.
Oh, well, I'm a journalist, a real journalist. I want to think I'm one. Will tell you, I don't even want to be seen with a politician in public. It's not that you hate them. Their world is poles apart from yours. The way they think is not the way you think. If you have a politician friend, Victor, if you think you have a politician friend and that he trusts you concerning whether you make public certain things that he does or not, you better think again. He doesn't. A politician doesn't trust a journalist. A journalist too does not quite. That's the way they are. It's not an indictment of any of the camps. It is the way they are. You understand? So just leave politicians to their game. If Shuaibu thinks he needs to appeal, let him go ahead. He has the right to. Yeah. We'll write the news as usual.
Indeed.
You know, quickly, please, let us encourage vigilante in Niger not to cave in because 30 people went down. This is very important. Because what is happening really, when terrorists, when insurgents come and kill people, when they kill people or do anything that actually shakes the earth, it is to cause intimidation and fear so that their terrible act will continue to thrive. Yeah. The only way you can upstage them eventually is not to relent in your efforts.
Absolutely.
It does not just go for the security forces. Those of our people who have also chosen to join regular forces to combat them should please not cower before them. They should not cave in. We are sorry about the deaths of these people. 30 people in a community. I mean, that's not good news. But please, the battle continues. We should never lose it. We shouldn't. On a lighter note, yesterday marked, you know, is it the eastern part of the United States? The axis close to Mexico. You know, they saw a complete eclipse, a solar eclipse yesterday, as the moon aligned directly with the sun and the earth. 4 minutes. There was something that was close to...
some say 3 minutes.
Yeah, between 3 and 4 minutes. You know, that natural phenomenon is usually something to behold. And do you know the funny aspect of it? Some people decided to marry on that day. Within those few minutes. The world is so superstitious. Actually, I think it was 1947 when the monarch of Isiluku died. They said there was something close to an eclipse. And my people still believe today that the death of the
death
monarch,
led to the eclipse.
Africa, the world gets superstitious. But remember that in 22 years, another one will happen. I mean, scientists are able to now predict the path of the Halley's Comet, the path of eclipses and all that. So they are not even as awe-striking as we think.
Indeed.
This is natural phenomena working out. That's what they are.
By the way, did you see the pictures of that? It looked so beautiful. Like,
yes.
I mean, that was, what.
Yeah, how many have you seen, by the way?
Don't
have
ask me.
Don't
ask me.
Victor, I'm going to withdraw the gentleman, label I pasted on you.
I wanted us to share experience.
Why don't you leave my dear Nyere that wants government to install air conditioners on farms so that young people will find it attractive? Will you please leave her alone? You can see that I'm starting.
By the way, it rained yesterday.
It rained yesterday.
How did it make you feel?
You said I should not mention farming anymore. Please, madam, look, don't switch me on.
Don't worry.
You know who I am.
Before you get switched on, let's wish you a pleasant day and happy holiday.
Just say, let's switch you off. It's understood.
Nigeria returns with the conversation segment in a bit.
A good farmer is a craftsman of the highest order. It is said, great farmer, great nation. No farmer, no nation. Yes, let's set the ball rolling to build that great Nigeria where good food is in abundance, affordable and easily accessible. The Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, an initiative of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, is aligning with the vision and aspiration of the administration of President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, and is organizing the Every Home a Garden competition. The competition is under the scope of agriculture of the Renewed Hope Initiative. For the competition, women are encouraged to immediately plant a garden at home, such that the harvest can provide adequate food on their table and enough to give their neighbor. This competition is open to only women. She must be a first-time farmer. The garden must be in her home, and it is open to women in every state of the Federation and the FCT. Interested participants should do a 30-second video and a picture of the garden, which indicates its location, to the office of the First Ladies of their various states. The winner of this competition will be announced in December 2024, and the winner of the competition goes home with 20 million naira. Women, join the train. Be part of the food revolution in Nigeria. What are you waiting for? Let's get to work. This message is by the Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, an initiative of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON.
If you want to become something, become a child again. Why be a patient? If you must worry, then worry about winning. Why worry about germs? When you come home, bring tales and stories. Why bring in germs?
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
I'm the photographer of Black Milk. I have an exhibition in 8 weeks about how things get better with time. Darling Natural Twist inspired me. I'm seeing how the twists blend with her hair over time. How she actually feels more confident. She's really more beautiful every week. That's definitely worth celebrating. Darling Natural Twist. Twists that get better every day, just like you.
We are live in the open market for Epic 10X Challenge. My people, today I will show you how the power of new Epic 10X gives your toilet a better cleaning than bleach.
Than bleach?
Yes, so.
Impossible.
Toilets have stains which bleach cannot clean effectively. But Epic is thicker and sticks better, which gives 10X better cleaning versus bleach and kills germs.
Oh, wow.
You can now see that Epic is better than bleach.
Nigeria means a lot to me.
And Nigeria means peaceful cohesion.
My country.
We continue to pray, and then hopefully we will come to understand that unity of purpose, unity of living together. Our ethnic beliefs and background and culture is our strength.
Ever since
the amalgamation period of 1914 to date, about 109 years ago, the people of Nigeria live very peacefully with one another.
I think diversity helps a lot to enhance robust development in Nigeria.
All over the country, you have so many ethnic groups, over 250. That is enough to tell you that this is a blessed country, and God has kept together as one indivisible entity.
Okay, welcome back. Let's now join Oyeyemi Ajayi, who has a background report to take us into today's conversation.
It's another period for Salah celebration, and as expected, more movements across the country is envisaged. High vehicular movements are expected as such celebration avail people the privilege of visiting their loved ones. For security agencies, it is another time to ensure safety before, during and after the Salah. So, it is another time to deploy personnel and equipment to protect lives and property. Across the states of the Federation, the Nigerian Police, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, as well as other security agencies have set out with the security mandate, reflecting the coverage of all the nooks and crannies across the country, especially sensitive locations, soft targets, black spots and flashpoints that are prone to criminal activities. For the Federal Road Safety Corps, over 28,000 corps operatives, both regular and special marshals, have been deployed to effectively cover 51 corridors during the Ido-Cabrera Special Patrol, which is expected to commence from 8th to the 13th of April 2024. The directive is part of efforts to make the highways safe by eliminating all variables that propel road traffic crashes, fatalities and injuries on the nation's highways, urging motorists to imbibe patience, avoid recklessness, ensuring that they drive within the specified legal speed limit on all roads, as well as desist from overloading of vehicles and use of trailers to convey passengers. Aside these, the critical operational equipment have also been deployed to help personnel in the operational front. These operational tools include radar guns, breathalyzers to put a check on drunk driving, traffic cones and other operational logistics. Now, with all these, can we say that security agencies across board are indeed prepared for the Salah celebration? What roles should the people play in order to have a safe celebration during this period? Guests seated will be talking more about this shortly.
Okay.
Many thanks to Oyeyemi Ajayi for the background report. Now, joining us for the conversation is the Deputy Corps Commander from the Corps Public Education Office, Honey Ogundayo. You're welcome to the program. I also have joining us for the conversation Comrade Yusuf Ibrahim Adeniyi, the National Secretary General, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Good morning.
Okay, we have also been joined on the program by Mustafa Agbarere, a barrister, a lawyer. He is Chief Imam Peace Court Estate Central Mosque, Lokogoma, Abuja. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning
Thank you for
Nigeria.
having me. Good morning, Nigeria.
Right, and from our Jos studio, we have Dr. Habila Joshak, retired DIG Operations. A pleasure to have you join us on Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, perhaps we begin from the studio here. Let me ask Honey Ogundayo, what's in the offing? Eid al-Fitr has been pronounced to be tomorrow, but I'm sure you've been cooking something before now and perhaps until after the holiday. So what's in the offing?
Yes, good morning once again. Let me first of all wish all our Muslim brothers and sisters happy Eid al-Fitr on behalf of the Corps Marshal of the Federal.
Before the Chief Imam will tell us how prepared the mosque is and if the ground has been cleared for the 2 rakat prayers and all that needs to happen tomorrow, let's quickly head to Jos, where the retired DIG Operations, Dr. Habila Joshak joins us from. Dr. Joshak, of course, the Muslims are getting set for Eid al-Fitr tomorrow. Of course, of course, today, the late hours of today, some people, or in fact, from this morning, it's a public holiday. People are, trying to get to different places where they intend to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. Could you just give us a sense of what security is like and what you would advise, Muslims to do as they go about celebrating?
Crop up during this incident because, of course, there are a lot of criminals around who would want to truncate the celebration. But I would say that we, the citizen, must be part of it, because for every crime that is committed, it must be done around an environment where some have seen when people were making preparation, to create insecurity. And in doing that, it means that the bulk will also stop at the various communities, the citizens, the people that live in a particular place. You must learn to find to check out those criminals that are preparing, because it's not possible for them to do that without some tips that has been dropped. And the citizens have a very big role to play. When you see something, you say something. People you are suspecting, you should quickly let the security agencies that have been deployed to know. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for them to know who is preparing to commit crime.
Perhaps since we have started going through operations and all of that, we'll come to celebration later to engage the Chief Imam. But let's ask Comrade Yusuf Ibrahim Adeni, who is National Secretary, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria. What's the mood at your various operational bases, if you like, call them motor parks and all whatnot? What's the mood at the moment? Is it busy?
Thank you. The mood is that every park are very busy now for the commuter who are traveling from one location to another places in order to celebrate Eid al-Fitr with their families. Of the vehicle are functioning very well in order not to have a breakdown on their way when they embark on the journey. So these are the precaution and safety measures that we have taken to ensure that everybody got to their destination safely. Moreover, we also ensure that there's no sales of alcoholic at the parks and garages throughout Nigeria. We have ensured that we have a task force and our marshal, road transport marshal, have been mobilized to make sure there's strictly compliance with those directives have been directed by the council.
Is there a directive also to increase the prices of transportation at this point?
You see, the issue of increment of the transportation fare at this point have never happened. And the organization, we don't allow arbitrarily increment or increase in the transportation fare at any time, at any point in time. Most especially this crucial period. We are trying and doing everything possible to meet other issues that arise. There's issue of overloading. Overloading doesn't happen at the park. This overloading happens, people who may go to halfway after the turn, they stop there, and now they are looking for a cheap cost. Maybe at the park, you are paying 10,000, and somebody now say he has 7,000 or 5,000. So they are looking for where they can get lesser. So that's what happened. That is where overloading.